So myth number 3 is the cocky, funny text opener. This is what we were talking about with a couple of you guys, right? The idea where we're going to send something, a little conversational ping, send something funny, send something non sequitur to her to get her to respond. Because if I say, hey, what are you doing? It's lame, right? So our example of a cocky, funny text opener is something that I saw on boards where a guy was like, send this to a girl, it'll be really clever. Hey, are your legs tired because you've been running through my mind all day? Yeah, smooth, right? Cool. Send that guy out to a club with me any day. I will take his women. So here's the take his women. So here's the idea, right? You have to look at this you have to look at it pretty fucking logically. When a girl gets a text like that, she thinks only a few things. She thinks, hey, this is funny, right? Cool, that's good, good. Put that on the good board. He is hitting on me. Okay, put that in the not that good board. It could be in between the good and the bad board because she might be into that. Or she could think, what the fuck, right? What the fuck what does this mean? Is this an idiot? Put this on the bad board, right? Now, we have to understand that when we look at the 2 good responses, he is funny and he is hitting on me, she has to make the decision to encourage us. She has to consciously register, because she knows women are smart. Here's my secret for you guys, my PUA secret. Women are really fucking smart, right? When they see this stuff, they've gotten this stuff for millions of years. They know. Like when you walk up to a girl and go, hey, do you know what time it is? She knows why you're talking to her. You've got a watch right there. Oh, but it's, fast. Or it's set on LA time. She knows why you're talking to her, right? So the only response that you're going to get is if she decides to encourage what you're doing. Unfortunately, this is a binary response. If she's not interested in you, she's not going to respond. If she doesn't want to encourage that, i.e. if she could be interested in you, but if she's just not in the mood, she's going to not respond to that, right? And then you're going to go, oh, she's not into me. Ugh, what a flake, what a bitch, right? We all do that. We lose the ability to judge her interest. It's a binary response. She's either interested or she's not. What we do, what I encourage you guys, and this is the first bit of information I'm going to give you that we can use, is that to start a text conversation, we're going to use social obligation. So what is social obligation? Boom. What's social obligation? I don't have to say anything. They know what to do, right? So what I'm going to do is use social obligation over text. What was the name of that club last night? I'm going to send her, hey, what was the name of that club last night? She's not going to be like, who's this asshole hitting on me? I mean, she might. That's fine. But there's not much else we can do. It's just fucking text, right? So what was the name of that club last night? Now, what we can do in this scenario is we're able to judge her interest. Now, this comes from a point not of disinterest to interest, but a scale of neutrality to interest. So if she sends to me, I say, hey, what was the name of that club last night? And she says, the Ivy. We know that we're in a fairly neutral spot. But if she says, the Ivy, ha 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 ha, I thought you said you had been there before. What are you doing today? We can tell that she's more interested in us. If we say, what do you do? Your legs are tired because you've been running through my mind all night. And she goes, ha 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 ha. We already know she's interested. And we lose the aspect of whether she feels neutral, whether she's disinterested, or just in general whether she wants to respond to us. Now you only need 3 good text openers. Okay, now why do you need 3? Because if you can't create a connection through 3 text openers to 3 good solid text conversations, you're not going to really get anywhere. And that's kind of like, oh fuck, well I've fucked up 3 conversations in person. Yeah, probably you have. I have. But here's the idea. Text conversations don't necessarily stop. That's the best part about text, is that people can be doing stuff. They can be at a meeting or on their way to Starbucks, and they'll pick up the conversation after Starbucks. It's kind of one of those things on the phone where you say, oh, hey, listen, I gotta go. But not a lot of people will be like, hey, listen, man, I've gotta go, but I'll text you some other time. They're just put that shit down, get it to it later. So I'll give you 3 good ones, all right? This is really important. Here we go. Master PUA, Gareth Jones, give you 3 text openers. Hey, what was the name of that club last night? Hey, what was the name of that drink you had? Hey, what was the name of that school you went to? you can pretty much say whatever you want, right? Doesn't really matter. The idea is to get her engaged in that conversation. The point of an opener isn't to like walk up and like, you know, like shock her with your man drug. You can do that. You know, there are great ways to do that. But in general, the point of an opener is to just start a conversation. Hi, my name is, right? Liam was talking about body language, about vocal tonality, which I'm a huge, big proponent of. I went to music school, I'm a singer. Really, really important stuff. On one hand, text is at a disadvantage that we don't have that ability. On the other hand, we're at a great advantage because we can't fuck it up, right? If I say like, hey, what was the name of that club last night? She's gonna be like, you're a weirdo. But if I just text it, there is no way to transmit that. So handicap, advantage, disadvantage, be it as it may, it still works. So things to keep in mind. Let's talk about some general concepts of texting. Some good ideas is to manage your text length to be congruent with the current conversation, okay? This is one of those things that is a bit about like trying not to look needy, okay? But it really comes from a place of, if you're texting a girl and your conversations are going like, oh, hey, that was a really fun night last night. I had a great time. The Ivy was really crazy. What do you think about that place? And she goes, it was nice. You go, oh yeah, there's a lot of nice places I really enjoy. I have a lot of fun when I'm in Sydney. Do you go out to Sydney a lot of, what are your favorite places? World Bar. Oh, it's really cool. Are there any other places that you like to hang out with your friends? Hugo's. It's not a question of you're texting too much and you look needy. It's the interaction. It's completely disproportionate. So what I always say, it's the easiest way to kind of do it, and this is a little bit of a PUA, thing, but the easiest way to do it is to try to create text lengths that are very similar to hers, so it feels like a one-on-one conversation. It feels like everybody's giving the most they can. There's a great story, in the 40 Thieves, in the Arabian Nights, that series of stories where Aladdin or somebody is trying to access the Cave of Wonders. You probably know this shit. And he's got this trick door, and for millions of years they've been trying to open this door, but they can't get to it, and they pushed on it, and they've had millions of the strongest men pushing on these doors, and they've had the giantest of battering rams breaking open this door. But it turns out that to open the door is just the slightest touch. Specifically in text, but a lot of like with the the ice queens, where like the harder you try, the less they give. That's exactly what's going to happen in text. The more you give, the less she'll give, the less invested she is. So we encourage that kind of communication. For the analytical mind, it's very easy to see because it's purely like how much, right? Like a lot of what JT, the Asian Playboy, is the president of the ABCs of Attraction. He does a lot of our lead instructing, and he came from a rocket science background, like worked for NASA. So he does things very mechanically. We break it all down. Excuse me. Ah, yes. Gareth Jones, sponsored by. It wasn't that funny. I'll pretend to laugh. So he does things, he works backwards. He analyzes it. And that's exactly, we have these quantifiable things. We can go through and say it's this long, it's this long. It does, in most cases, translate in interest because it translates to interest because of the effort that's made.